Hi there, welcome to my channel. I hope this video finds you well, and if it didn't, oh god, take a breath, lie down, sit down, just have a one-sided yap session with me, okay? Everything's gonna be alright. Right? Here I am again, gracing your display with my beautiful visage, hoping it will make you stay. Imagine I get copyrighted for that, lol. Today's viewing in Watch Mongolian Movies with Me series is a movie called Cuckoo's Almost Married. And the last two movies I talked about, including this one, have been about love and marriage because we really made sure that people were breathing, okay? So any movie made pre-1990 partially, well, wholly worked as a propaganda tool rather than an art form. And it was a propaganda tool for like hard work and family values, love and patriotism. They really made sure to drill that message into people's brain. And this movie is a not exception. Khokhoo is the name of the male main character, which directly translates to cuckoo, which is a bird, which is fitting because he's a bit cuckoo in the head, and you'll see. And this movie was made in 1962, which is about the time where Mongolia was building its building blocks of becoming a more industrialized and institutionalized country with a lot of social and economic changes being introduced because we were becoming a country of our own and not just a countryside between Russia and China, who also was getting their shit together, but of course they were like far beyond from where we were. I mean, Russia was going toe to toe with the United States in the Cold War to achieve what? I have no idea. And China was busy becoming the world manufacturing center to really keep tabs open on us. So we were left on our own and we did what we could to like build the country. In this movie, the main characters are the youth of that time and this new blood in the agricultural sector, which has been just finding its ground, therefore needed more manpower. So the main character, let's just call him Coco because that's his name. He hops on a train with his friend and looks for an empty seat. And apparently, people just found the seats on their own, hoping and praying that they didn't overload the cart. And conveniently, a certain section has just enough room for the two of them with a complimentary pretty damsels. So after knowing that the seats were not occupied, they just barge the frick in. You can back up a little bit and just starts yapping their ears off, just basically flexing with the things that are yet to be theirs, like how they're gonna work hard, how they're gonna get the bag and buy a house and start a family and all of that. Just straight up peacocking. Hand fucking after 10 seconds of meeting is crazy. The concept of having no concept of personal space and consent is crazy bumbleclot. I can't. Had I been her, I would fist up my other arms and these knuckles would meet his noggins. Not sure what's gonna happen after that. Let's find out together. I'm so thankful to have been born in the time and age where social anxiety is a thing. So Cuckoo sends his sidekick for a tea and treats the ladies with his favorite, which is this girthy, veiny, filled to the brim sausage and a candy. Wow, what a pair. He then asks the female main character's name, to which she just... Girl, what the fudge? You're doing too much, okay? Just lie if you don't want him to know your name. I lie about my age all the time. Guess my age. No, actually don't. I mean, to be fair, he's been acting a bit too much, like insinuating about marriage and family whilst looking at her, just straight up assaulting. And someone comes from the other section of the cart and addresses the female main character with her name, which is Softa, which means pearl. And he's just like geeking at knowing her name. And on the last leg of the destination, they ride on the back of this Russian pickup truck, the infamous Machine 30. And the beauty of that thing is just... And the road is like absolute shite, okay? So they all just sway from side to side, and Kuko and Softai is just coupled up together in the corner. And they reach the first destination, and Kuko drops off. And Kuko is working in a plow brigade, which means he has to stay in this empty field far away from the nearest town with a staff room that's basically just a freaking tent. And before he could ask Softa's Instagram, the truck just drives off to the sun. So he does not have any way of getting in touch with her again. I mean, with the way things are going, I'm not sure if she would have talked to him at all. So Sota is assigned to work in a more of a settlement or town kind of situation, and she's working as a shopkeeper. Her boss, this absolute Ziva, is just cleaning out in her room when a pot boils on the stove, and she uses the nearest code to move the pot from the stove. And she then finds the work documentation of Khokhoo and, drools over Khokhoo's picture for a moment.
Ямар гэхэвдээ байж альтайхан залуу бай. Хөхөө. Альтайхан ч нэртэй.
Because Softa and Khokhoo have accidentally swapped their coats as they were in the same color, and Khokhoo knows this and uses it as an excuse to send a letter to Softa through the truck driver again. And Softa's friend brings it to her and asks if she was going to reply, and Softa's like, nah. She basically just wants him to send more letters so that she can leave him on red, figuratively. And Softa's friend just basically ominously warns her and tells her, well, you decide. Well, actually, Softa is clearly very much into him, but he has a long way to go to get that coach, you know what I'm saying? And her boss brings Khokhoo's work documentation, without which, how else are people gonna know what work he's supposed to be doing?
Нотлохи. Нотлон да. Нотлон.
So I know this is a movie and it's a set, and probably there were some safety measures, but the way he's deliberately driving towards people circling around to stop him is crazy, because that man was inches away from death for it not to be a CGI. I told you he was a bit cuckoo in the head. Knowing that the brigade lacks manpower and really seeing that he can operate a vehicle, his boss decides to let it slide one time. Had I been him, I would have so happily smacked his ass back to the city, because not in my brigade, you're not doing that. I'm sorry, Cuckoo, I don't think you're a culture fit, and I understand that you wanted to work in a warm house with running waters and all of that. I mean, you're here to build those, actually, and if you don't want to work here, I suggest you go back to the city and find a comfortable working environment and explain to the big boss why you came back and be sent to a prison because you refused to comply with the government. But I respect your opinion. But instead, the boss assigns Ginding, who is a bit more experienced and responsible, wise guy type of person, to be Cuckoo's handler, because he's too much. I mean, to be fair, I hate people of his genre, shall I say. They're just so overstimulating, so energetic, so go-getter, why? Take it easy, my man. So that then sends his work documentation through the truck driver again back to Cuckoo, and she does not say any word or send any letter. She's just playing really hard to get, because back in the day, that's how you got your man, okay? Because you don't want to appear too easy. What are you? A person with a value regardless of your purity status? Or a whore? Well, that was the social guidance, and you are hard to get. That's a matter of fact. They have to work for you. And the guys know that too. So the harder she plays it, harder she likes you. So no hint is the hint. So Cuckoo decides to send letters through a more official route, through a postman, just an old man who has a motivation of a mud drying in the sun. He halts the first girls he saw in the street and asks them, are you short? Do you have a pigtail? Do you have a blue tail? Are you expecting letters from someone? Yes to all of this? There you are. Now go get your man. Because that is all the description Cuckoo wrote about Softa, because he doesn't know Softa's official address. In fact, he doesn't know anything about Sofda except her name and the fact that he likes her. So the letter gets to the wrong person, who is coincidentally also called Sofda. And she is also smitten by someone and was actually waiting for some form of contact from him. Who is him? Ginding, yes, their man. He helped her get to her destination during a rainy night. That's all the interaction they had, and they were just like in love. That's all it took. People were so easy back then. I guess some things never change. What the fuck was that? Should I include that? So Cuckoo and the others of that, they keep each other as a pen pal without knowing who they're writing to. And when the others of that is shopping from the main girls of that, she drops a letter on the ground and someone finds it and gives it to the mains of that. The mains of that sees the description and it applies to her, and she thinks that it was from Cuckoo for her. And before she could read, the side chicks of that snatches it away from her hand and gives her a nasty side eye. And this just makes the main girls of that think that Cuckoo is a hoe. He's just dropping in the DMs of any heifers of the town. So this makes her just focus on her career, and she actually makes her shop a bit more mobile because she can drive. Cuckoo's work is not good, whether because he was given a dirty tractor or because he's just all talk, no walk, incompetent rando. He just can't reach his quota, and it reflects on his salary. So his dream of buying a house and starting a family is just dissipating in front of his eyes. And everyone thinks that he can't do shit. Even his sidekick sides with the rest of his colleague and taunts him when he's experimenting with scrap metals. So if I understood correctly, the tractor pulls this comb-like thing behind it, and that thing like tears up the soil, which then makes it easy for it to be penetrated with a seed. So he essentially puts like more parts together so that he can drag a wider comb, meaning he can plow 3 times as much of a land in one go. And his colleagues see this and like it's working, so they're just celebrating and cheering him on, not knowing that 2 of them are about to be fired soon. Cuckoo then visits his boss's office, just like, trying to fish for a compliment, but then he gets to go to the workstation where Sofda is working. So he gets there, finds the postman, who drops him off at the vegetable field where Sofda is working. And when he turns around,
таньжаа. Хөөхтээлтэй бүсгүүл байна.
Уучлаарай. Хүн андуурчих.
but like, he doesn't dig into why that is happening. He doesn't check with her whether her name was Sofda, and like he doesn't ask from the postman and all of that. Had he done that, he would have extrapolated what is happening, but instead he just like, for some reason, sulks around, walks alone in the middle of nowhere and just pitying himself. And luckily, he gets picked up by a truck. And as he's riding, he passes by the main girl Sofda and jumps from the back of the truck. He's a cuckoo in the head. But she's just not feeling him at all, because to her, he a hoe. So without hearing him out, and I'm not really sure what he would have said, she just leaves him in the middle of nowhere after having her car fixed. Destiny swapping, discolored. So after this, he just digs deep into his work, and fall, autumn to some of you, comes around. But he still yearns for Sofda, so much so that that the whole brigade knows her by name. And his brigade becomes the best brigade or something like that, so they throw a mini celebration party and invites everyone around, meaning 4 kilometers away. And both Sofdas end up arriving. The other Sofda comes across the colleague of Cuckoo and asks where he was. Since everyone in the brigade knows Cuckoo's supposed girlfriend, he asks if she was Sofda, and yes, she is Sofda. So they have her wait in one of the staff room. Later, they bring her to Cuckoo and welcomes her like she was the matron herself. And again, after seeing Cuckoo, she runs away. Like, what have you done to him that you need to avoid him for the rest of your life? Like, girls, this is like a stupid behavior. Take the day by the ball, take space and talk. God, like she's actually pissing me off. She runs into her real man Ginding and evidently she can fucking talk. And Cuckoo also comes out and finally understand that he's been writing to the wrong person. So after hearing that his main chick was around, he writes after her. And they eventually all gather together and figure things out amongst themselves, and the movie ends with a dance break. Yes, Kuko's almost married.
My daughter found. Sao anh kêu thế?
Khokhoo гэрлэх төгсөө гэж хэлээгүй юу.
So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little video. Do check out the others, one of which you should be seeing in the corner somewhere. And I also have a series called Mongolia Influenced, where I talk about the interesting characters in the Mongolian influencer pop culture. So if you're interested in either of those, please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. That will do wonders. Even if you don't do any of that, just you watching and reaching this point is amazing. So thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see each other again. Bye bye.